Welcome to this explainer. Look, I know a lot of you tuning in are students or young professionals. And let's be totally honest here. Stepping out into early adult life today, it doesn't exactly feel like some majestic adventure, does it? It feels way more like, I don't know, navigating a minefield blindfolded while trying to juggle. It's incredibly complex and just straight up overwhelming. But today, we're going to break down an absolutely powerful framework straight from Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. We aren't just going to talk about abstract philosophy here. We're breaking this down into a highly practical, step-by-step plan for your personal development.
So, why does life feel so overwhelmingly chaotic right now? Whether it's that gnawing anxiety about your career path, the literal crushing weight of your exams, or just the wild unpredictability of modern dating and relationships, that feeling of being completely underwater, that, my friends, is what we call chaos. And today, we're going to explore exactly how this book lays out a plan for you to conquer it and actually become the creator of your own destiny.
To really get this, the book dives into the fundamental psychological foundation of our existence, the eternal duality of chaos versus order. It's like the ultimate yin and yang. Order is the known territory, right? It's your structure, your predictability, your daily routine. But chaos? Chaos is the terrifying but honestly kind of thrilling unknown. Sure, it brings anxiety, but it is also the source of absolute possibility. The author makes the case that a truly meaningful life requires you to bravely stand right on that exact border between the two.
Okay, so here's our literal map for your personal hero's journey. We're going to cover 1, the chaos of the modern world. 2, the hero's path. 3, how order begins with you. 4, ideology versus responsibility. 5, choosing meaning instead of expediency. And finally 6, daily discipline. Let's just dive right into the very first step.
Section 1. Chaos of the Modern World and Facing the Unknown. So what is chaos? Basically, it's what happens when the unpredictable completely shatters your normal life. For you guys, students, young professionals, this is that sudden, totally unexpected job loss. Or, failing a massive exam you studied months for. Or having a stable relationship just fall apart overnight. It plunges you into this chaotic underworld. Psychologically speaking, it's like being swallowed whole. You're in the belly of the whale, just completely surrounded by uncertainty.
And that brings us to stage 2, the hero's path, which is entirely about accepting responsibility. The framework uses this ancient archetype of the hero facing epic trials, because honestly, it is the perfect metaphor for your own personality development. Beating back the chaos requires you to actually venture out into the unknown. It means letting parts of your old, undisciplined self die off. You have to sacrifice your current comfort so that a much stronger, more capable version of you can be reborn. It's literally the psychological link between taking personal responsibility and ending your own suffering.
Moving to stage 3, order begins with you. Let's look at the biological and psychological foundation of personal order.
And this brings us to Rule 1, stand up straight with your shoulders back. Now you might be wondering, why are we looking at lobsters? Well, it all comes down to ancient biological hierarchies. The book points out that lobsters actually share neurochemistry with us humans, and simply adopting a physical posture of courage literally shifts your brain's chemistry. Think of it as the very first tick mark on a visual scale for tracking your personal progress. You start by physically commanding your space, which immediately, biologically, prepares you to face the world.
Okay, on to Rule 2. Treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. Now consider this for a second. Why in the world do you take better care of your dog or rush across town to help a struggling friend while completely neglecting your own physical and mental well-being? I really want to challenge you on this. Here's a specific daily exercise for you based on this rule. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, what would I advise a good friend to do in my exact situation? And then, here's the kicker, you must actually do that for yourself.
Next up is a really critical threshold. Section 4, ideology versus responsibility, drawn right from Rule 6.
The source material draws a super sharp contrast here about how we react to hardship. On one side, you've got the ideologue. This is someone who just blames society or capitalism, constantly looking for simple external excuses and acting out of resentment. But on the other side, you have the hero. The hero takes radical personal responsibility and sets their own house in perfect order before going out to criticize the world. The psychological benefit of this shift is absolutely massive. It takes all that wasted energy you spend stressing over massive systems you can't control and focuses it squarely on the immediate environment that you can control.
Section 5, pursuing meaning instead of expediency, based on Rule 7.
When things get unimaginably difficult, you need a guiding light. According to this framework,
Pursuing what is meaningful means rejecting that impulsive, short-term pleasure. It means sacrificing today for a much better tomorrow and aiming to actually reduce the suffering in the world. Choosing deep meaning over quick, cheap gratification, that is presented as your absolute ultimate weapon against the tragedy of existence. It lets you transform from just a passive victim into an active force for good.
As the author puts it, if you are disciplined and privilege the future over the present, you can change the structure of reality in your favor. Think about that. This isn't just some abstract philosophy. It is a highly practical mechanism that humanity discovered thousands of years ago. By sacrificing the immediate convenience of today, you literally have the power to physically alter the trajectory of your future.
Finally, we hit Section 6, Daily Discipline and the 1% Rule.
To apply all of this consistently, Rule 4 is vital. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Look, as a student or a young professional, that habit of doom scrolling through social media, comparing your messy, chaotic beginning to someone else's heavily filtered, polished peak, it is incredibly toxic. Using this method of comparing yourself strictly to your past self is the only accurate, healthy way to evaluate your personal progress.
Just look at the sheer scale of compound growth here. If bar 1 is your baseline today, and bar 2 is your growth in just 1 year, bar 3 reveals the absolute magic of 3 years. If you aim small, like if you just make your life a tiny 1% bit better than it was this morning, you create a massive, compounding trajectory of success over time. It's huge.
Let's look at this checklist for tackling typical life difficulties through the lens of these rules. Overwhelmed by your studies or your work, break it down and set your own house in order first. Feeling inferior? Compare yourself only to who you were yesterday. Tempted to just throw in the towel and give up? Pursue meaning, not expediency. This little table right here becomes your ultimate tool for daily self-control.
And here are some concrete daily discipline exercises you can execute right this second. 1. Speak your truth today, or, at least don't lie. 2. Fix one small thing in your room tonight. Literally, just go organize your desk. And 3. Let go of one old, unproductive habit. These micro-assignments are exactly how the book suggests you begin taming those dragons of chaos in your everyday routine.
We're wrapping up our explainer here, and this quote from Friedrich Nietzsche honestly perfectly encapsulates the whole journey. He whose life has a why can bear almost any how. A strong, carefully chosen purpose makes the unbearable weight of life not just manageable, but deeply meaningful.
So I'll leave you with this. What one specific piece of chaos are you going to conquer today to become the creator of your own destiny? Seriously, don't wait around for the world to fix itself. Step into your power right now, take that very first step on your hero's journey, and go set your house in perfect order. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.